how I've used Showbie in higher education with our education team. Not necessarily an overview of how to use Showbie. Showbie have done some fantastic how-to videos, and I would suggest if you're interested in Showbie, definitely go and check those out. You can see the link to that in the description for this video. But rather, I just wanted to kind of pitch this for higher education and how it's really helped me both prior to COVID and also during COVID. So first of all, I'm going to go into Showbie on my device. You'll notice on the side here I've got a range of classes. Some of them are demo classes from activities I do with schools to support them. And actually I utilise this in my own teaching and learning as well. So the first thing to highlight, if I look at one of the classes that we're running at the moment, is how we kind of build it over time as we add in additional weeks, etc. So in this one, you'll notice that we've got our sessions that we're running. I organise them so that the most recent one is always at the top, and then I organise them after that for students to be able to go back and check on any prior learning that they've done within any of the sequence, etc. And if I look at a previous one to this, so this is the same course but last year's version, you'll notice how that then organises itself for the students to be able to go in and check all of the learning, etc., that they want to have a look at. They can go back and find out about anything that we've taught them when it comes to them doing their assignment towards the end of the module. They can check out all of that information. So it's a great place for them to go back, check on individual conversations, group conversations, session presentations, links, etc., anything that we've utilised within that session. We also use it for assignments. So if I jump into my assessment section, I'm just going to change the screen for this one just so that you can, I can hide the student's anonymity, should we say, within this. There we go. So this is our assignment. So I highlight in here the assignment that needs to be had. The students can see access to all of the information that I've asked them to complete. And then you notice on the side here that's underneath, I've blacked out all of the names, but I can keep track of when students have handed it in, that they've handed it in. I've given feedback, scores that they got, etc., etc. If I tap on the first student's piece of work, I then also utilise this from an assignment point of view, give them all their feedback. I can give them an annotated rubric of all of the work they've done. So everything is contained in this, including all of their work that I can give annotated feedback directly on their script as well. So I'm not going to go into that on this, but you'll notice here that the student's piece of work is in here. I can annotate onto that as well, of having the content from the students on the screen. So it works perfectly well as an assessment tool, works perfectly well as a tool within my teaching and learning for the students to be able to keep track of everything that they're doing. So if I just jump back now to my overview, like I said, all of these are run for different reasons. Now, if I show you how to set this up, so this is how I go about it with my modules in higher education so that students can use it. Start a new class. My module title would go in here. So I'll just put it module demo. This is the code that you then share with the students. Now, this is the critical part for me. We could have a VLE that we can share with our students, and we do have this in place. And all of the content is there, and the students know that it's available to them and they can go and find it. The way I like to use Showbie with our education students is a couple of reasons to kind of enhance that process. One, it's an account that they have access to on any device. So I know that they can access this, whether they're using iPad or using a PC, laptop, whatever it might be, including their mobile phones, which we know, majority of students are going to have access to those. So they'll be able to access all of that content whenever they need to. And the other thing, having them enter the class kind of gives them a little bit of responsibility, a bit of ownership, that they have to do something to join this, like enroll into my class. And I feel it engages students in a slightly different way when I've set it up that way. Now, the other thing for us is that because I am supporting my students for their future careers, it also showcases a tool to them that they could use in their own classroom. So I also like to use tools that they can use in their own classrooms as well. So I'm going to say, click save on that. It's going to take me into this first thing. And you'll see it highlights kind of those next steps that you want to go through. Up here it says add an assignment. But actually what I'm going to do here is add a folder. And I've used folders as my sequence of lessons. Now again, there are lots of different teachers that will set their Showbies up in lots and lots of different ways. And you can get in touch with other schools and Showbie themselves to find out about doing that. This is just how I've used it within higher education. Add a new folder, give the title of the folder. So let's just say it's going to be session 1, for example. Colour the folder, tap save. Within that folder then, you can then add the assignment. So what is it that I'm going to add in that assignment? Now it could just be that this is going to be access to session, because it could be an online session, right? So for me, I put my links in here that they need to go to, be it Zoom or Teams or whatever that we're doing the session on, so they know where to find it. Okay, so access to session, they always know that's where they'll find it. When that's saved, within that section, in the shared items, I will add in that link, or I will add in a presentation or a piece of reading that I want them to do prior to the session, whatever it might be. I also find myself adding in a folder which has just the module content. So new folder again, so module information. Oops, type that in the box. And in here I will add in things that they will need at any point in the course. So it could be handbook. So I might just put one that just says handbook. And I've got kind of that structure for myself just to keep everything organized. Again, I can add the handbook into that shared section. I might put in something around the assignment. And again, students have everything in place and it's created by me. So I have that ownership of what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to feel like? What content do I want to add into it? And students have access to it whenever they need to. And that's how it ultimately ends up looking something like this. There we go. So all of those assignment support sections, module overviews, highlights for what we're going to be doing within each session, etc. So that's it. That's how I use Showbie within higher education. I find it a really, really valuable tool, gives me ownership of what I want to share to students. And like I said, whether I'm in-person teaching or working with students remotely, it serves a fantastic purpose for both. Whilst we're on that note, I'm going to showcase one thing. I'll go back into that module demo. Within sessions, something that we found really, really useful, but certainly when it comes to kind of shared thinking, collaboration, again, collaboration both in person, but equally online, is to just simply add in a whiteboard. So if I just add in now, just a create document, just choose the kind of style you want the document to look like. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple for now. Tap create. I can very, very quickly create something that I want all of the students to be able to utilize. So I have all those pen tools across the top. I want the students to do some sort of shared thinking, maybe around why we do X, Y, or Z. And I can kind of give them thought bubbles or sections that they can write in. And it's as quick as this. So yes, I could do this on a piece of paper. I could do it with Post-it notes, but it's so much easier because we're iPad 1-to-1. I can just share this out to the students. They can all add into this. And it's a really, really nice way that we can kind of have this shared collaborative space as we learn from kind of remote teaching and taking that back into the classroom so that students have a voice. Because again, you can write in the boxes, you can type in the boxes, you can record your voice into the boxes, etc. So again, really, really nice way to share and collaborate in that style. So there we go, Showbie within my higher education environment. If you want to learn any more, please do get in touch. Definitely check out Showbie for more information on integrating Showbie into your own workflow.